Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. I am thrilled and honored to be joined by a number of our partners in education. Linda Mulvey is here representing the school district administration. Derek Dorsey, who's the president of the Board of Education. Katie Sojewicz, who is a board member, should not stand behind me. I'm probably the only person paying alive, so stand in front of Derek. Also, Ben Walsh, our director of economic development. Bill Ryan, who is my chief of staff, but also serves as the chair of the Syracuse Local Development Corporation. Susan Boyle, who's the 3rd District Counselor and Chair of the Education Committee, and Peter Dunn, who heads the Central New York Community Foundation. We are here today to announce that I have signed the final documentations for the bond closing for Krause Hospital. Krause Hospital went through the Syracuse Local Development Corporation for its bonding request. As part of that, there is a 1% fee that gets generated, and through the actions of the Common Council requesting that the Syracuse Local Development Corporation take that 1% fee and give it to the Say Yes to Education scholarship funding. And then the board of the Syracuse Local Development Corporation agreeing to do that. That has been finalized, and that closes the local match for the SRC grant. What this enables us to do is make a giant step forward in making sure that the children of our city and the families of our city will have access to the Say Yes to Education tuition benefit going forward. This would not have happened without the leadership of Krause Hospital. I want to thank them. Without Peter Dunn and the Central New York Community Foundation's help, but most importantly, without the Common Council and the members of the Syracuse Local Development Corporation. I want to take special note here, she is not with us, but Assemblywoman Pam Hunter, who at the time that these documents and this process was going through, served both as a city councilor and a member of SIDA and the LDC Corporation. And so she was very active in this too, and I want to give her a special thanks. So with that, it is my pleasure to turn this over to Peter Dunn with the Central New York Community Foundation, who can talk more specifically about the SRC grant and what this means. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Miner, and I want to thank you and your staff, the members of the City Council, as well as the members of the school board for your support of the Say Yes Scholarship Endowment through this gift. I'm honored on behalf of the Community Foundation to be the steward of the Say Yes Scholarship Endowment. About 7 or 8 years ago, a collaborative effort was formed between the city school district and its teachers, between the city and the county, the Syracuse University and Onondaga Community College, the Community Foundation, and Say Yes to Education's Foundation, and dozens of other community organizations and partners to create a system that could secure higher education attainment and a brighter economic future for our kids. This collaboration continues to this day, and all of the partners to this effort remain engaged in its success. This is an example of collective impact working to change the community for the better. Over the last 7 years, surround supports for students and their families have been created and expanded to enhance opportunities for student learning and family success. These have included legal and mental health supports, health services and after-school programs. Today, more than 1,000 students each year benefit from the Say Yes to Education scholarship. That scholarship further leverages significant private and public tuition support from colleges and public and private, other private and public sources. So a pathway to higher education has been created. In 2011, one of our community's leading businesses, SRC, made a signature gift commitment of $5 million to the scholarship endowment. I believe this gift is one of the largest, if not the largest, expression of local corporate philanthropic support for the Syracuse community ever. SRC's gift had a match, and to date, more than 1,000 donors have supported the Say Yes Scholarship Endowment. This gift today from the City of Syracuse and the SLDC represent the final gift that completes the SRC $5 million match. As a result, $10 million has been created to endow and sustain the scholarship going forward. Thank you again, Mayor Minor, and thank you also to the school district and to the city council for their support of this effort and for everyone coming together in this example of collective impact to improve the future educational opportunities for our kids. Thanks.
I would now like to invite up Linda Mulvey to speak on behalf of the district.
Good morning. On behalf of Superintendent Contreras and the school board, I would like to thank Mayor Minor and the Syracuse Local Development Corporation for this generous donation to the Say Yes to Education Endowment. This commitment to the endowment is a commitment to the children of Syracuse, the children of our school district, and a commitment to the city as a whole. Our young people are our future, and this once again reinforces in them that we believe in them and know that they possess what it takes to be successful in college and beyond. The endowment has already provided, as Mr. Dunn indicated, thousands of dollars towards the college education of so many of our graduates and families who, without this support, would not otherwise be able to send their children to college. All of us in the Syracuse City School District are grateful for this continued support, and we would like to thank everyone who worked so hard to see that the endowment continues to provide hope for our children and that it enables us to deliver on the promise of a college education for all. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to bring up the 3rd District Councilor Susan Boyle, who is also the Common Council's Education Committee Chair.
Thank you. Good morning. As a parent of Syracuse City School District students, as a proud parent of Syracuse City School District students, and the president of the PTSO at Corcoran High School, I've seen firsthand the impact that the SAYS education program has had on the students in the Syracuse City schools. I've seen several students who otherwise may have attended community college or may have taken a couple years off to try to work to save to go to college, be able to leave the halls of Corcoran High School and move straight into the halls of Cornell, to Brown, to RPI, and to Syracuse University. Students as early as 8th grade in the schools and younger are having conversations in the hallway about where they want to go to college. This is a conversation that once wasn't really worth having in our schools, as many of these students, the idea of being the first generation of students, of people in their family to attend college, and the cost of college education was such an unrealistic and unattainable dream. The opportunity that SAYS provides to these students is the opportunity to dream. SAYS has set for many students a very realistic goal and a very real and valid belief that if they work hard and achieve the grades necessary to attend quality college or university, that door will be open for them. With the promise of Say Yes, they can do better and they can achieve anything that they set their minds to. I'm also glad to see that a community benefit was achieved here and that our goal to make the business of the city work for the people of the city is working. We often say, and we hear, that education is the solution to the cycle of poverty. As we work hard to improve the lives of the people in Syracuse living in extreme poverty, education is our best and our smartest investment. So thank you for this worthwhile investment in our youth, and thank you from the parents and the students of the Syracuse City Schools.
Thank you. With that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions that anyone has.
Just wondering if you can give us a little bit of a sense of where SAYS is at. Maybe, Peter, if you want to interject too. I know that when we talk about SAYS, we're talking about a lot of things, not just the scholarship fund. And I know that there is sort of a process for how the programming that SAYS provides is being absorbed by the city and the district. Can you give us a sense of where you're at and where the endowment's at as well?
So I'll talk generally. The programming has been absorbed through a partnership between the school district, the city, and the county. So the 3 partners have been able to take the programming and implement them in the district. In terms of the scholarship fund, we have been working earnestly by raising money with our back-to-school ball, by looking at creative funding like this. Closing the SRC match has always been a priority to do that, and also talking to our state partners as well about the importance of this. And everybody who learns about the Say Yes to Education program and the changes that it has made in families' lives, and comes here and hears the stories of children and students who are impacted, says this is the exact kind of thing that we should be supporting to help move people, students out of poverty, give them access to good jobs and a high quality of life. And we're all also now starting to see these first Say Yes graduates come back to our community and take jobs in our community and talk about how important it was. So this is a program that requires all of us to be vigilant about it every single year. It requires the community to take ownership of it, to make sure that it stays a priority. But it's something that I am extremely proud of, and that the people of this community have said, educating our children and giving them an access to college education is a priority. It's something that we believe in firsthand.
Would you consider this more of a donation or just an allocation of money?
Well, I don't think it matters what I consider it. I think it's a priority of the city. And what we saw here was a group of people who were committed to finding money for the Education Scholarship Fund and utilized our creativity to access those funds. So this 1% bond fees could have been used for other things. But between the council, the LDC board, the school district, the community, we thought that this was overwhelmingly the kind of priority that we needed to put money in.
Peter, could we ask you just about the state of the endowment and where it stands right now?
Yeah, it's, as I mentioned in my remarks, the endowment now stands at $10 million, which represents the $5 million commitment from SRC, plus the cumulative contributions of all the other donors.
The National Say Yes had said they wanted to see the endowment at $30 million by June of next year.
That's correct.
So that would give us roughly 15 months to raise $20 million.
That's correct. So there are a variety of strategies, and the community has come together to look at ways that the remaining funds can come together. Say Yes National has been very generous in giving the community a pretty long runway to get to the point where it can create those funds. So there continue to be a whole bunch of different conversations about how we can close that gap.
Can you talk about what could happen? 20 million is a lot of money in 15 months. What could happen if we don't have 20 million by June of 2017?
If you don't have those funds, then you'd have to look at making changes. So, but we're hopeful that we won't have to get to that point.
By changes, you would mean not. It would be difficulty funding scholarships, correct?
That'd be true. If you don't have resources, then you can't fund the scholarships. However, I think that we've seen repeatedly that the community has come together, all the different stakeholders in this, to get us to the point where we can create sustainability. And that has meant extensions of support from national. It's meant significant interest from our state partners, as well as collaborations between the city, the county, and all sorts of other stakeholders. So I'm encouraged by what I've seen in terms of the engagement of folks in moving this forward. Obviously, we have a goal and we need to get to it, but I remain encouraged.
Do you remain optimistic?
Yes.
On the $30 million goal?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about where specifically this money is going? Is it going only to scholarships? Is it going to maybe increasing another staff member? Because I know that was something that happened last year.
The funds that we receive, that we manage, go exclusively for scholarships. Say Yes National was in a position to fund local staff folks, and actually they still fund local staff folks who work with students and their families in the district to facilitate the scholarship process. The money that we manage is used exclusively for scholarship support. If you were to look at the allocation, probably around half of the children who come out of the city schools and take advantage of the Say Yes scholarship go to community college, and the other half are split between private and public colleges. So our funds are restricted exclusively for the use of scholarship purposes.
And National is in charge of staffing and other.
National, the Say Yes project is really it's part of a multi-city effort. So we're not the only city in the Say Yes network. Buffalo and Greensboro, North Carolina, as well as some local efforts, are also part of this. So Say Yes has created a common data platform to be able to manage student eligibility, which may vary from place to place. So we take advantage and leverage their capacity at the national level, and they fund the local folks to supervise the scholarship eligibility and processing. We manage the money to make sure that it's used for those purposes. So there still is a partnership between between SAS National and local folks, and the city, the county, and all the other partners that I mentioned before remain engaged at the table to make sure the programmatic piece endures and that the scholarship is sustained.
How many students a year?
1,000 students per year take advantage of the scholarship
And that's just in Syracuse?
from Syracuse City Schools.
Any other donations or any other ways that SAS plans to get some of this funding in the future to keep it going? I mean, is this donation large enough?
Well, what we want to do today is celebrate the fact that we reached a milestone, which is that the community raised $5 million to match $5 million, to match a signature gift coming from one of our leading corporate citizens. So that's what we really want to celebrate today. We have strategies in place, and I'm confident that we're going to be able to get to the point where the scholarship is fully sustainable.